All right, ladies and gents, we're just going to get to it. Let me plug the joint right quick. Women with these 5 red flags are problematic to date. Again, women with these 5 red flags are problematic to date, right? And we're going to talk about it in just a moment, right? I'm going to give you the 5 red flags you need to be paying attention to. Now, let me just say this. All of you guys are individual men, right? So, as individual men with unique individual identities, you yourself, for yourself, have to decide what works for you and what doesn't when it comes to the women you encounter. You have to decide for yourself what works for you and what doesn't. Women with these 5 red flags are problematic today. Again, 5 red flags that show you she is someone you should not date. Now, a lot of you guys, you consistently deal with women who exhibit or demonstrate one or more of these behaviors I'm about to break down, right? And here's the thing right here. And I just want to say this. This is what I want guys to understand. You men can deal with women as you see fit. But let me tell you what's at stake. Okay, what's at stake is the quality of your dating life. What kind of dating life do you want? What kind of dating experiences do you want? If you were to get into a relationship or even a marriage, what kind of dynamic do you want to exist in your home? Do you want peace, tranquility, joy, happiness? What do you want? Because if you want those things to exist, you have to be the one to set the foundation for all those things to exist. And when you ignore certain red flags, you cripple, right? You cripple the prospect of having a peaceful, tranquil, joyful home filled with happiness and peace, right? Because of you ignoring these red flags, right? So, red flag number 1, guys, women with these 5 red flags are problematic today. Number 1, any woman who is reluctant or hesitant to move in your direction. If you're telling her, let's move to the left, and she prefers to stand pat or to move to the right, she's not the one. And let me just say this real quick, because I think what gets lost a lot when dating advice is being given, and it doesn't matter what social media platform you hear it on, or if it's a man talking or women talking or groups of people talking, it doesn't matter. What's always understated, in my opinion, is compatibility, which means to exist in harmony without conflict. I want people to understand what that means. To exist in harmony without conflict. If you are telling a woman, hey, let's do this, and she is resistant to that, or she's reluctant, or she shows trepidation, there's no harmony in that particular interaction, which means what? You're not fucking compatible. You're not compatible, right? Again, if she is reluctant or hesitant to move in your direction, if you're having a conversation with a woman and you tell her, hey, how about we go sit over here so we can have a more private, intimate conversation? And she says, no, I'm good right here. What is she showing you? That she's hesitant and reluctant to move in your direction. She's telling you, no, I'm good right here. Like, even if you're talking to a chick and you are attempting to separate her from her friends so you can have a more intimate, one-on-one, private conversation. And again, she refuses. Oh, I'm good right here. Anything, you want to say to me, you can say in front of them too. That's not the woman you should be fucking with, right? Number 2, she challenges your choices or decision making. Again, she challenges your choices or decision making. And this is what guys don't understand about that. If a woman is challenging your choices or your decision making, she's saying she doesn't trust you. What she's also saying is, I believe I have a better sense of direction than you do. Right? And you guys to understand, even if you're in a relationship, if your wife, fiance, or girlfriend, if they're always challenging or questioning your decision making, what they're telling you is, I don't trust your ability to choose right for me. I need you guys to understand that. When a woman challenges you, right, or she questions your decision making or your choices, she is saying, I don't trust and believe in you to make decisions that are right for me, that I will also mutually benefit from. So I'm going to question you because I don't see the benefits for me in it. I need you guys to understand what's going on. Okay, that's problematic. You cannot date women, get into a relationship with women, or even have sex with women who demonstrate any of these characteristics. But I know y'all ain't gonna listen. I know y'all ain't gonna listen. See, here's the thing. In order for you to get to the point where your vetting process is top notch and you actually know how to properly select the women to seriously date, you have to condition yourself to employ those standards and those boundaries even in casual sex encounters. So you condition yourself where it becomes just a part of how you move, where you don't even give a woman access to your dick if she's showing any one of these red flags. But y'all ain't gonna listen. A lot of you guys, you're not there yet. You're not there yet, right? Maybe you'll get there, maybe you won't, right? Number 3, makes demands or suggestions. Makes demands or suggestions. An example would be this. Let's say you tell a girl you wanna take her to a bar, or you go into a bar and you invite her out, and she says, that bar really doesn't serve any food. Like, they don't really have a real menu. Why did you choose that spot? I think there's a better location that you could have chose for us to grab drinks. If a woman is doing any of that, if she's asking you, why did you choose that? Why do you want to do this? Like, if you set a date and a woman asks you, why so early? Why don't we do it later in the afternoon or later in the evening? Or if a woman says, why so late? Like, let's say you set up a date for 9 o'clock and she says, why so late? We could have done something a little earlier in the day. Okay, and let me say this about that. If a woman ever, 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 ever questions you about why so late, specifically if she's trying to suggest an earlier time during the day, what she's really telling you is, amongst other things, why are you setting a date for fucking hours? Because there comes a time in the evening where the later it gets, those are fucking hours, right? So a woman might look at you like, is she looking at you like, well, do you think this date is going to end like around 11, 10, 11-ish? Right? Those, when you start to get into that part of the evening, those could be considered fucking hours, right? I need you guys to understand that. Women with these 5 red flags are problematic to date. Now, number 4, overly inquisitive, right? Overly inquisitive, especially a woman who's intrusive about your private affairs. If you're dealing with a woman who is asking one too many questions about your dating life and about other women you might be dealing with, that's problematic. Now, let me just say this, because I want guys to understand the distinct difference. Some women are naturally and playfully curious about certain things. But there's a big difference between a woman being curious versus her being way too inquisitive. I can't even talk. Way too inquisitive and just downright intrusive. Right? Here's the thing, and I want guys to understand this. The reason why you're single, if you're single, isn't a woman's business. The reason why the relationship or relationships in your past did not work out, it's not the woman's business. Whether or not you are actively dating other women, it's not her business. Whether or not you are actively having sex with any other women, none of these things are her motherfucking business. Period. Period. And let me just say this about a lot of guys. A lot of guys, y'all need to learn how to stand up and literally tell women, that's not your business. Or don't concern yourself with that. Right? And there's other ways where you can redirect women. Right? And I've talked about this. Right? I remember I had a woman, not too long ago. She was attempting to ask me about other women. And I shut it down. I essentially told her, look, don't worry about all of that. When you and I are together, you're going to feel like the only woman on the planet. You're going to lose track of time when you're with me. And that's it. And here's the thing. A respectful woman, a woman who respects your boundaries, will shut the fuck up and roll with that response. A woman who is a beaming, glaring red flag will continue to push and continue to ask and continue to prod and poke about what you got going on. Okay, you can't fuck with those chicks. Those chicks, look, let me tell you something about those chicks. Those are the same chicks that will have you believing that they are pro-monogamy and pro-sexual exclusivity, right? Questioning you about who you're dating while at the same time gargling multiple niggas' nuts. Okay, I just want you to understand, don't get fooled by women, because a lot of guys who are inexperienced, when they deal with women who are very persuasive, almost in a dictatorial fashion about wanting to be the only woman that the guy is seeing, these chicks, don't get fooled by these chicks, because they will have you believing that how they date is, I date one guy at a time. So she's trying to basically tell you, yeah, if you're dating me, I want the same reciprocal energy. I'm only dating one guy at a time. You should be dating only one woman at a time. Me. Right? This is how a lot of chicks will try and sell themselves, and the reason why, because they want all of your energy. They want all of your attention, and they want the kind of attention that you would give a woman that you're about to date seriously. Don't let these fucking women fool you. Right? Now, number 5, actively seeks validation. Actively seeks validation and your attention. Now, let me just say this about attention and validation. All women covet attention and validation. They need that shit like air. They need that shit like oxygen. They need that shit like water. They need it. All women covet attention and validation. Here's the problem, though. When women are actively seeking your attention and your validation, right? And let me just say this real quick, because I've often said this. Hold on real quick. Right there. When a woman, I want guys to understand something. There is a difference between a woman wanting your attention because she wants to be around you. She wants to actually experience you in every way possible, including sex. Okay? However, when a woman is seeking your attention or she is seeking validation, specifically when you very first meet her, this is how it might look. If a woman ever sends you an unsolicited video or pictures of her, you didn't ask for these shit. She's just sending you little video clips. It could be her fully clothed. It could be her in a bikini, whatever, right? Or she sends you pictures, still images, various poses, and she just sends those to you unsolicited. She has an agenda, right? And the reason why women do that, one of the reasons why women do that, number one, they're seeking compliments. First and foremost, that's what they're seeking. They're seeking compliments. Also, In some cases, depending on how manipulative and how nefarious, well, not nefarious, depending on, well, I'm going to use that word too, but depending on how manipulative and how experienced women are when it comes to dealing with men, there's a more nefarious reason why women will send you videos and pictures unsolicited, especially if it's in a sexually suggestive pose or in provocative clothing, right? A lot of times what they're doing is they're testing to see how influenced you are by what they perceive to be their level of attractiveness. They want to see how influenced you are, right? What kind of compliments are you going to give them? Because when you give these over the top flattering compliments and all that about how women look, they already know you're a sucker. They already know you're a sucker. I need you guys to understand that. Again, 5 red flags that show you she is someone you should not date or have sex with. Again, reluctant or hesitant to move in your direction. If you say, come on over here so I can talk to you, and she's reluctant to do that. And here's the thing. When you instruct women to do something and they begrudgingly or reluctantly agree to do it, like they're like, I guess. What were you saying again? Anytime women are like that, that's also a red flag. Because if you get into a relationship with that woman, what typically happens, or you date that woman further, what typically happens, she'll do things reluctantly or begrudgingly, thinking she's going to directly or indirectly benefit from it. Okay, and the reason why she's reluctant to do it initially is because she doesn't see the benefit. That's why she's hesitant, right? And the reason why she doesn't see the benefit is because she doesn't see the benefit in dealing with you. She doesn't see the value in you. So anytime you instruct her to do something, the first thing she is thinking is, how do I benefit from this? Right? And the reason why she's hesitant is because she's thinking of, well, he wants me to do something where he benefits. Fuck that. So I need guys to understand. So when women begrudgingly or reluctantly do something, that's them kind of like, I think I might be able to benefit from this. I think I might be able to get something out of this. But when a woman is really feeling you, she already sees the instant benefit. Why? Because she wants to be next to you. She doesn't want to kick up any dust. Why? Because she's attracted to you and she wants this to work. Right? Guys, women with these 5 red flags are problematic to date. And I want guys to understand this in closing. Right? The reason why this is important, guys, right? And again, I always talk about all of this sex-based advice. And cool, there are guys out here who are trying to help, guys, sexually frustrated guys, get some sex, get your little nut off. Okay, fine. I get that. Here's the problem, though. A lot of you guys, and a lot of guys out here just in general, you're not prepared to be in a position where you're dealing with these women casually, and then you start to catch feelings. And then you start to have this bond with this woman that could be bordering on unhealthy attachment, right? A lot of guys, they're not teaching you how to manage your emotions when you're dealing with women. Okay? They're also not teaching you how to mitigate a woman's emotions, right? This is why when you deal with women, especially when you ignore these red flags and you deal with women anyway, you literally become a prisoner to your own feelings and a prisoner of your own desires with that woman. So what you do is you compromise yourself and you cope by saying, at least I'm getting something out of this. And as a man, that should never be the case. Women with these 5 red flags are problematic to date. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.